Hi everyone. So I'm just gonna wait a few minutes as I usually do. Maybe at like 25 to or so we can start. But in the meantime, how are you guys doing? Okay, so I'll just let you guys know how I've been doing. It's been a very weird. What did I do with your comments? Oh my gosh. Wow, I don't know what I just did. Um, so it's been a very weird reading week for me. I don't know. I've been on and off in terms of what I feel like picking up. There are books that I know I definitely have to pick up. One of which I haven't picked up that we are discussing on Sunday, but this today, tomorrow, and the beginning of Sunday is only dedicated to that book. I finished one book. I will show you all these books. I'm halfway through one of the other books that we spoke about, and I started another book that I'm halfway through, but I didn't read as well as I wanted to. Um, but yeah, these things happen. It's fine. Okay, let me see. Charlie Lava Maya says she's. Oh, Charles Love Maya says, what am I saying? I'm butchering your handle right now, and I'm so sorry. But you are well. I'm glad to hear that. And I think that at level 2 of this lockdown, a lot of people are not going back to evaluate their mental state. I think that we're just going with the flow now. But weirdly enough, so many people are feeling the ups and downs of your emotional and mental well-being during this time, and I think we were very alert to that when we were still on the higher levels of the lockdown, level 5, etc. And now as things are dwindling down, we expect ourselves to be well, and most of us are actually not coping as well as we'd like to. Well, me for example, but it's seasonal, right? Oh, it's not even seasonal. There are days that I feel great, and there are days where I'm like, oh my god, when is this going to end? But yeah, I'm glad to hear that people are well during this time. Hey, NCC says she's doing great, and it's a Friday! Yay! Charl is the name, thank you. So is it Charl over Mayor or is it Charl Lava Mayor? I don't know how to read the handle. I think that's what confused me, but I'm glad Charl is the name. So let me just get straight into it, guys, and let you know what I've been telling you about. If you guys saw earlier, I had advertised that I will be chatting with Ika Duka over on my Facebook page tomorrow at 11 a.m. discussing this book. That platform and that kind of interaction is really not going to be an interview as such. I organized that with Ika so that he can come onto the platform and talk to people who had engaged with his works, more especially Yellowbone, so that whoever wanted access to him and to talk about the story and how it unfolded could enjoy that platform. So what I will be doing in essence is passing along the questions that come through on the live. Should there be no questions on the live, then I will have a discussion with him, but then essentially it's not for me, but it's for whoever wants to join that discussion. So I finished this book this week. We were reading it. It was our first pick in the Vuvu Vena Reads book club that exists as a Facebook group over on Facebook. And if you are curious about it, you can go and find it through my Facebook page, which is just Vuvu Vena Reads. And next month we have picked a book. We have picked The Shadow King by Maza Mangiste. Okay, I don't know. She's Ethiopian, and her book was recently longlisted for the Booker Prize, so that's what we'll be reading in September. My copy hasn't yet arrived. I'm waiting for it. Otherwise, I'd show you. So that's the book I finished this week, and then um more than halfway through what am I saying? The Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling, which is the last book in the Harry Potter series. So that I expect to finish this week. I might not touch it as much during the weekend. However, I am enjoying of late playing the audiobook as I'm about to go to sleep, kind of like a bedtime story, which is quite weird because some stuff that happens obviously in Harry Potter is weird, and I don't think you should be hearing it just before you go to bed, but it's been helping me for some odd reason. So I'm more than halfway through that. I'm certainly sure that it will be finished next week. And then I picked up this children's book. It's called The Timekeepers series, Book 1, Nandi Goes to Egypt by Sizile Ndlazi. She reached out to me and asked if she could send me a copy of this book. The book is available on www.ikhabebooks, ikhabebooks.co.za, and it costs 130 rand. And from what I've gathered, because I'm halfway through the book is about a passed on legacy from that skips a generation, right? So she has the ability to travel through time, but the main thing is that she's traveling through Africa and meeting great historical figures that help her resolve some of the obstacles. So in this first one, the first city or country that she goes to is Egypt, and she's in Cairo, and she's trying to resolve something that needs assistance from the ancient greats that once lived in Egypt, which is quite interesting. And obviously the type of imagination and dynamics of this kind of book is very appealing to young kids. This main character is 10 years old, so I'm assuming anybody from that age would enjoy something of this nature. I think it is still too advanced for my kids. My son is turning 5 in a week's time, and my daughter is 3, so they wouldn't quite grasp this as well as somebody who is age 10. So far, I'm enjoying the story. The writing I'm not too blown away by, but the story is quite great, so that's what's keeping me going. That one I plan to finish tonight. And then the book that I am behind on, that we are discussing on Sunday, that I will finish by Sunday, is House of Stone by Novuyo Rosa Chuma. I felt like I didn't want to stop and start this book because of how I enjoyed the opening of the book. So that's part of the reason why I haven't been touching it as often as I wanted to. But I'm glad that I'm going to have tonight, tomorrow, the whole of tomorrow, and then a bit of Sunday to finish it, and I should definitely finish it by then if it's the only book that I'll focus on. And that is 372 pages worth of the book, and I don't see why I can't finish that in time for our discussion on Sunday afternoon. So those are the books that are by my bedside this weekend. And like I'm saying, well, this one isn't. I was just showing you what I managed to complete last week. And then this one, like I'm saying, I'll pick up when I go to bed by way of audiobook. And then these are the two that I intend to finish this weekend. I think that's all for the books on my bedside, but I was curious to ask you guys, what were the books that you guys enjoyed the most when you were growing up? In light of the fact that I am reading a children's book over here, what books had the most impact on you? I am trying to build a library for my kids. I think I've said this more than once before, but I am trying to build them a library where they can, in different stages of their lives, explore books that people have recommended and that I have recommended, obviously, that are suitable for their different ages. So if you have a book that has touched you in any way throughout your reading life and that has stuck with you in any way, please do feel free to share. Off the top of my head, and especially in the age that they're going into, I do feel like I'm gonna go to Reader's Warehouse just to buy them the collection of the Noddy books. That is the first book that I have a clear recollection of reading and enjoying, and I loved the series a lot. So I think I'm gonna get them that just for nostalgia's sake, and then see if they actually enjoy it. So I don't know if you guys have any books that you could recommend for their collection. Oh, okay. Charles says he likes the Hardy Boy collection. Okay, I've never read them. Funny enough, I heard a lot about them, but I never got to reading them. And as you can see, I'm kind of like vetting. I'm the gatekeeper. I'm kind of like vetting the books that come through for my kids. So I'll definitely get into that when I do get around to it. I think I will get that. I think my son might enjoy it. And I think I've seen it at Reader's Warehouse. Reader's Warehouse is where I kind of see these major children's book collections. It could be anywhere for all I know, but I know that Reader's has a huge variety of that. So I'll be on the lookout for the Hardy Boys. Oh, Pinocchio, that's true. Hey, Auntie says Pinocchio, he was an underrated brave boy. Okay. I enjoyed Pinocchio. Nancy Drew, you're absolutely right. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, yes. And Matilda, that's true. Nancy Drew for boys, okay. Um, okay. I'll have these listed anyway when I do finish this video, so I'll keep. Yes, definitely Roald Dahl wins for the win, so I'll slowly collect those for them. But my kids are in a phase where this is yours, this is mine, so I think I hope not, but I think I might have to buy them in twos. I hope not. I hope it's a phase that passes. But definitely Roald Dahl is definitely in my radar. You're absolutely right. What are you guys reading this weekend? Oh, Song of Achilles, Dust Jackets and Do Over says they're reading Song of Achilles. I've heard about it, but I haven't read it. Can you just give me a quick synopsis about what it's about if you have started it, that is? Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, so while I wait, I wanted to let you guys know about my reading goal for the year as well. I was worried for a bit because January, February, March, as in the first 3 quarters of March, I almost want to say, I really struggled with the reading. I probably read one book in that 3 months. I really was going through a major slump. And at the end of last year, I'd set myself a reading goal of 30 books. Last year, I read 20. That was my goal, and I met it, and I don't think I went over the 20. And every single time I set these kind of goals, I always remember that it's really not easy, guys, to squeeze in time to read, especially if you're a single mom of two very young kids who has a 9 to 5 and other things on the side that you're doing. It's really hard to get to even 10 books. So I was very, very happy last year when I reached 20. And my whole philosophy with a lot of things is that if you can do 20, you can do the next number and the next number, the next number. So I think I'll be incrementing my reading power by 10 every year. So this year it was 30 books that I wanted to read. And I was worried, like I'm saying, come end of March, because I think by the end of March I'd read 3 books. Anyway, so far after I finished Yellowbone, I think Yellowbone was book number 18 so far this year. I want to say 18 so far this year. It could be 17, but definitely it's either 17 or 18. And if I, so not if I, when I finish House of Stone, it will be 19. When I finish The Timekeepers, it will be 20. And I will be very excited because it will leave me with 10 books to read, and that will be doable. There's about 3 books by Van Bayside that I am still going through that I have already started. And then there would be the Harry Potter, which would easily put me on 24, which means my goal will be attainable this year. So I'm looking forward to that. So this is Song of Achilles. Dust Jackets and Do Over says it's about the relationship between Achilles and Patroclus. I think that's how you say it. It's a brilliant book. I've almost finished, and I think it's going to be my favorite for this year. Oh wow, okay. I like it when people say that, because then it definitely puts me in the radar of a certain book. Because for example, this year by far my favorite book has been I almost said House of Stone is the other book, has been Under the Udala Trees, and that's probably because I'd never read anything from the LGBTQ family, and for me to start with a book of that nature set in Africa, it's set in Nigeria, and by a Nigerian author, I found it to be brilliant, fantastic, and how she writes, her writing style is flawless. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, and like I'm saying, it tops my list of favorites so far this year. So I love it when people say this is my best read of the year, because then that has a pull to it. Yes, please do read it. It's brilliantly written. It tackles the subject of homosexuality and religion in the African context, I think, so very well, and it's so compassionately written as well. I absolutely loved it. I would recommend it to anybody. Actually, I think that has piqued my interest in books from the LGBTQ family, or about representation of the LGBTQ family within the African context. So I am definitely on the lookout for more of those, because that was brilliant. I cannot fault it at all. Yes, do put it there, please. It's a great book. What's everybody else reading? I see Song of Achilles only. If you guys know of any other South African or even African children's books, there is the book by, I forget her name, Sula. I think it's called Suliwe. Suliwe, I think. Not Sula, Suliwe. By Lupita. I think I want to get a hold of that book, obviously, for obvious reasons. But if you guys have any other books that you know of that nature, or that are set in Africa for children, specifically, let's say aged 5 to 10, please do feel free to even inbox me. I will definitely be on the lookout for those. Okay, I don't have anything more to share with you guys. Hopefully next week, because it will be the start of a new month, I will share new books with you guys, because except for one book that's by my bedside, that one we are planning to finish mid September, I should have a different variety of books that I want to go through next week. So it will be a fresh Friday reads for those of you who have been watching since I started these lives. So we will be talking about different books next week. Otherwise, thank you so very much for joining me, guys. I really do appreciate that you take time out to join these lives. It's still something that's very new to me, and especially when I'm not in the right frame of mind like I am today, it's really hard to, I hope you guys are not picking it up, but it's really hard to stop transferring that onto the camera. So I hope that you guys didn't pick any of that up. Otherwise, if you guys are always on here, you will know that I always announce that at 5 o'clock, Bukomoso does a reading from any extract, actually, from a book that she has chosen as a live on IG. If you follow her, please do tune in. Sometimes I manage to, sometimes I don't, because straight after work is meant to be time with the kids, so I try and respect that. But on Fridays I do this. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys again next Friday. Bye. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Bye guys, see you next Friday.